This device right here that you see before you is called the 1X Player 1X Fly F1 Pro. This device is a PC handheld and it has many problemms. I've had this since November of 2024 and I've experienced not one, not two, not three, not four, probably about a handful of different issues that I should not have to experience, including the customer service that does not want to pay attention to what I say or listen. So today, I'm going to talk to you about all of these experiences in the last year because I have to fix my right trigger or my left trigger once again for the second time. I did a video about how to fix this and now I have to do this again. I don't know why, but this trigger broke again and they sent me these replacement parts, so I hope this is the actual part that actually fixes this. So let's grab out the mat and shut this thing down because I'm going to talk to you about everything that I experienced, including the customer service related stuff in the last year. So I'm going to talk to you about these companies because these companies, I'm going to tell you, are Chinese companies that are based out of China. And they really have a terrible customer service base, okay? This is the process of any Chinese company that I've ever ordered anything from, whether it's AliExpress, Alibaba, or anything of the sort, where you buy something from their website and you say something is wrong with it and they make you jump through hoops. What do I mean by that? Well, you have to take a video. Nobody has time for that, especially people that have day jobs, to prove to them that something's broken. And then you have to send them a picture also to prove that something's broken. And then you have to wait almost a month, maybe longer, depending on where you live. Now I can't figure out why I can't get this off. There we go. To maybe get your replacement parts. Maybe. Okay. I didn't even know these were showing up. I had no idea that these were showing up. And the reason why I'm saying it like this is because when I go to Best Buy, I go to Walmart, I contact Asus, I contact Steam for the Valve Steam Deck, this thing right here. I have any issues? Here's your replacement part. Here's your return shipping label, send it back. I've never had a company or any of these companies say, hey, can you send us a picture or a video to prove that you're not lying? But that's how I feel as the consumers, that they think I'm lying. I also have had these companies basically cancel my orders because I had an issue with one of their orders. Ambernick, I'm going to tell you that right now. Ambernick canceled one of my orders because I contacted them about having an issue with this device, which was having a screen issue. And I recently purchased something else from them and they responded back saying that there was a conflict of interest or something or some nonsense like that. Like, excuse me, I've purchased multiple products from your website and you're canceling my order because I had one issue with one of your devices and I've basically hyped up this device multiple times. What kind of customer service is that? Now, I know we're here for this thing. Again, I contacted this company for the first time, I think it was back in January, not even 2 months after owning this thing because I was having issues with it. Randomly, the thing would shut down on me, okay? Had that issue for probably 5 months before they were finally like, oh, you have to flash this BIOS. Didn't give me any steps on how to flash this BIOS whatsoever. No steps at all. Oh wait, there's screws under here. Forgot about this. Hold on a minute before I break this thing even more. So didn't have any steps. And then they finally were like, here's the steps. They're all in Chinese, so I had to translate them and try to figure this out. And then I had to Google search some videos, and then I finally figured it out. Yeah, these things come off first. There's some more screws under here, by the way. I've already did a video about this if you want to go watch it. So then I finally figured out how to flash the BIOS, and it still was having issues. And then they said, you have to flash this too. Why didn't you tell me that the first time, months ago? You know, like, that's very convoluted, and you should be just pushing that through one of your updates, not telling me that I'm missing something that I had no idea that I'm missing, or even sending out an email saying, hey, anybody that has a 1X Fly, here's an email letting you know that you're having issues with it, update it, doing this method. This is a $1,500 freaking device, okay? $1,500 Canadian device, and you're not providing proper customer service? Yeah, there's a screw right there. So I say proper because any other companies that I've ever owned anything with, at least most of them, will either put a Discord post or they'll send an email out or both, or they'll put something on their website saying, hey, this is what you need to do. This is why I didn't like my first 1X Player, because I didn't like the way that this company did things. Then I gave them another chance, and I'm not basically bashing on them right now because of my first experience with them. Yeah, that fan needs to be cleaned. But I am bashing on them because the customer service is absurd. Not even just from them. It's all Chinese companies. Ambernick, AYN, Retroid, A&EO. A&EO has been okay. They've been better than most of these other companies. Who else? Who else am I thinking of here? There's other companies, okay? I'm not other companies I can't think of right now. Those are the main ones that I've been having issues with. But anyways, so BIOS issue, device would shut down. I gotta clean the fan. And there's been just other things that popped up. And then I had a joystick issue actually the one day. And they sent me replacement parts finally, after a month finally. Not even suggesting, hey, can you basically check to see if the joystick is, you know, calibrated properly the first time around. And then they finally said, oh, try to check the calibration in the system. And it's like, how? That was not easy to find. I had to like Google search things all over the place to try to figure this out. And then there's a button, I guess, that you can actually see in the top right hand corner that's very small that says, oh, push this to calibrate it. So I did that and the joystick started working, but they already had sent the replacements anyway, so I have them as spare parts just in case. So that leads me to my next topic, is making sure that these companies actually have spare parts on hand. I had to harass them to ask them to give me one right and one left just in case something happened. I actually asked them for 2 and they said, well, our warehouse doesn't have any more. And it's like, what? You're still selling these products, so you should have replacement parts on hand to give to your customers that are willing to actually fix this themselves. Which, like, that's another thing, is that right now I'm wasting time myself that I could be gaming trying to fix this myself. I don't mind doing this, but I shouldn't have to do this. You know, like, this is something that maybe they should have some American company in the West that handles this kind of stuff. Maybe they should hire a basically a retailer or something that handles all their stuff. Like, hey, use this company, they're based out of the States, you just have to ship it there, or something like that. Or based out of Canada, you just have to ship it there. If they were smart, they would do that, and a lot of customers would probably be a lot happier with that. And yeah, I know that they probably don't want to deal with the US market right now, but honestly, that's something that I think of as somebody that also runs a business. Like, I've been doing stuff like this for years, and I've dealt with companies and I've been with companies for years that have stuff like that. All right, now this part, you got to flip up this ribbon tab here and be careful with this, because you rip this, shit out of luck. That's another thing. What if I damage this and then I have to contact them and be like, hey, I damaged this thing? I don't even know what this is for, honestly. I think that's actually part of how the actual joystick works. Another screw? There is another screw up here. Okay. And you notice I'm just keeping my screws in certain spots, by the way. This isn't a guide. I have the guide on the channel, but yeah. So that screw, where'd it go? That one's I think that's a different length. That was the top one right there. So now I gotta try to figure out what to do next. So finally, this replacement part came, and there's like a little metal thing. They don't even include the metal thing, so you gotta try to remove that and then put it back on. Is this even the right one? Oh no, this is the right one. It is the right one. Oh, I get it. All right, that's this one. Perfect. Now I have a right one just in case the right one breaks maybe one day. So the matter of the fact is that I've only had a couple of issues with companies. I'm just gonna break this out because it's already broken. Heal this up. Maybe use some heat. There we go. That back down. I just want to concentrate for a second before I rant a little bit more. So yeah, I'm pretty positive I put this in properly the last time. Like, not a matter of me not doing this properly. I've worked with small electronics for over a decade, and also bigger electronics for a long time as well. So yeah, I know what I'm doing on the most part. But anyways, I just don't like the fact that these Chinese companies keep getting away with, oh, send us a picture, take a month for you to get a replacement part, and then you have to fix it yourself. Or you pay for return shipping, which is going to cost a lot, and then wait however long, depending on what the shipping is like at the time. This crossbar, I never figured out how to get it in there the first time. I've only done this once, so didn't have to do this twice. There we go. Now I need that spring back in there, and I think the long part goes on the top. Probably should have put that in first. Probably grab some tweezers, go, and try to push this back through. There's a hole all the way through this, by the way. There it goes. Okay, back in place. Hopefully this one doesn't break in a matter of a month. The last time this thing actually snapped, and this thing broke as well. The same spot, literally the same spot. I don't even have the old parts because I threw them out. Should have kept them just to compare it. Maybe that video I can actually go back and look at it. You gotta stick this thing on here, okay, and I will screw this all back down and continue on talking. All right, so yeah, it's not a matter of like telling these companies what to do or what you should do. I'm just here, it's telling you my experiences. And the other thing is, like, this device itself it plays the games that I want it to play. It's quiet, the buttons are nice, they did a good job with the buttons and everything. But honestly, I just don't like how these companies handle things. And sure, you could be like, well, then stop buying from over there. Well, I'm going to. I'm not going to be buying, especially after Ambernick just decided, oh, I'm going to cancel your order for the RGDS, $100 dual screen device that I was interested in checking out because I own multiple different clamshell devices, and I have the DNA Duo coming out very, very soon. Actually releasing very soon, by the way. And I just wanted to see what it was all about. Now, I'm going to turn this on and make sure everything's working. Hopefully. Not sure if I have to plug it in first or not, but they might also have a security measure with the backplate being off. I don't have my fan to blow this out, but I'm going to clean that. But that's that fix. So yeah, the other thing is I noticed with the TDP settings, even at 15 watt to 17 watt, tried configuring the fan settings. This thing is loud. It can be loud in certain cases. Like I've played with it in bed once, and at first it was fine. And then I don't know what they did with their updates, but it got loud, and then it was just basically annoying to actually play on in bed. I couldn't play on it in bed. Not that I usually play on in bed that much, but not even 20 minutes it took me to do that because I've done it before. But then I have to put it all back together after I clean it. I'm gonna get my duster and clean it off. I'll put a video or a link in the description of the dusters that I use. So you should probably clean your fans out every once in a while, as you can see here. You can also use one of these to dust this all out manually and then actually use the dust off or something. So yeah, I'm just not happy about this. I'm not happy about how they think they can treat their customers in the West when it comes to stuff like this, because we spend a lot of money on these Chinese companies. I'm not gonna dust that off over top of my device, but when you have problems, sure, I guess the video thing is fine. But honestly, when a customer comes to you and is pissed off and is like, hey, I have now had this happen multiple times and you still haven't rectified this situation, and it took you 4 months to finally tell me I needed this BIOS update and this other update and all this stuff. Like, I wish I actually, I did videos about what you need to do with this thing. I'm gonna put links to these firmwares if anybody else has problems with their 1X player F1 Pro that's been having problems with it, because again, like that is just ridiculous. Like, that is something that I don't appreciate as a customer. I don't want anybody else to have to deal with that. Like, I just use this with, I'm gonna still use my duster anyways. But the fact of the matter is that I've had a problem with my Asus ROG Ally, my very first one, and I sent it back, got a replacement part for it. Oh, there's it, 1120. 1120 is when this battery was installed, I guess. So maybe I got it a little bit after November something. That's just so your thing doesn't get hot. The thermal pad. Yeah, hopefully I can start playing on this again, because I actually like the ergonomics of this thing. It plays games well, the ones that I play on it, and I've never really had any issues, but I hope they fix this. They hope they update it. Got the H730 or 370 or something, I guess, or HX370 processor as well, and it has 32 gigabytes of RAM. And I also installed a 4 terabyte NVMe in this thing. So it's a pretty expensive device at that point, right? But the fact that it has so many problems and the customer service is trash from not just them, but also other companies out east, not just smashing on Chinese companies. I've had this with multiple different handheld devices and companies. It just baffles me that we keep forking money out to these companies and just accept it, take it up the butt. Like, no, sorry, I'll make it known. This device has so many problems, and that's going to be the title of this thumbnail. Bye-bye.